who is currently signed to the PFL, which is also broadcast on the ESPN family of networks. And he has 3 wins over previously undefeated prospects in 2020. He will fight Quincy Lavallais in an 8-round middleweight fight on the undercard broadcast in a rematch of a June 2019 draw, which I'm sure as he'll tell you, he felt was an unjust draw. So he's looking to take the 4th undefeated record of the year. Please welcome to the chat, Cassius Clay Collard. Cassius, you started this year, relatively unknown to the boxing fans. Can you talk about sort of the wild ride that you've been on here in 2020?
Yeah, man, it's just been, it's been amazing. I'm fighting often and I'm fighting, tough opponents, and I'm loving all the, all the fans and all the love that I've been getting from them. So it's just exciting, man. I'm just looking to go collect this guy's own, man.
And before we get to the questions, and we got a bunch in the queue already. When you fought Quincy Lavallais, he's from Kenner, Louisiana. The bout was in nearby New Orleans, but it was not a lot of people probably have seen that bout or on the chat. From your vantage point, can you tell everybody what you remember from that fight and how and obviously you think you deserve to win, but how badly you thought you were robbed in that fight?
Yeah, so I thought it was 5 rounds to 1. He might have got 1. I don't know. He was landing these big, ugly, slappy. None of them were really like a clean shot on me. They were just big and slappy. Those are the only really good shots that he landed. I was just sticking my punches straight, and I remember during the fight, I threw a straight right and caught him clean, and he kind of slapped me with that slappy overhand that he threw. And all the fans made like a big, ooh, because I guess it looks good. I don't know. But I remember looking at him in the fight and talking to him, be like, I got you. You didn't get me. I got you, So, man, I thought I had it 5 rounds to 1. It was like my second or third, I think my third boxing match, professional boxing match, 3rd or 4th, something like that. So I was still fairly new to professional boxing and kind of getting in the swing of things. So, I thought I was on that night. I was landing shots. I was really active. I remember even the commissioner came up to us and was like, "Hey, nice win." And we're like, "We didn't win, man." And he was just like, "What? You didn't win? What? Where was I?" Like, so I don't know, man. He was cool with me after we talked, but before the fight, they made a big deal about him and his coach, and just, he was the hometown kid, and I wasn't, and I think that played a part in it. So,
well, thank you, Clay, and we got a bunch of questions, so we're going to start with Jake Donovan. See, Jake Donovan, he was a little tardy to the call, but he saw the schedule, so he joined for Clay Collard. Jake, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Thanks, Evan. I greatly appreciate that introduction. Clay, just picking up on where you left off, how important was it for you to get this fight back on the radar?
I've been calling myself the O collector. I've been collecting all these people's O's, and I had a shot to get his once, and I guess I fell short. So it's gonna be good to get that back and collect his O and take another undefeated record. So.
And definitely, and obviously, everyone's caught on to just what you've been able to accomplish. But how different of a fighter are you from when you fought him last year? I know you thought you won, but just like how much better do you believe you are than that?
Oh man, it's night and day. Yeah, night and day, man. I was still kind of figuring out how to box again, the range is different, the timing is different than mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts, I can stay a little further away and throw a kick, or so just being in that phone box, that phone booth and fighting is completely different. And so I'm just getting back into the swing of things, man. I think he's gonna have a tough night, so he's gonna be in trouble.
Thank you very much, Jake. And we now move on to Cynthia Kante from Ring and a bunch of other outlets. Cynthia, welcome, and please go ahead.
Hi, Collard. You know what? I can attest to the Fighter of the Year because I remember Doug Fisher did mention that to me, and now the cat is out of the bag. So congratulations, and hopefully you do get voted in. But you know, you became a boxing sensation for 2020 in the whole pandemic and in the bubble. You're extremely wildly entertaining. The way you fight is very unconventional, but it's very fan friendly. Coming into this fight, can you show us anything different, or is your fighting style just to make a show and obviously win? What can you do different this time in the ring?
From previous fights or from the last time I fought him?
This fight, your fight coming into this.
You know, we've been working. I mean, I've been working my boxing a lot. So, man, I'm always going to be a fan favorite fighter. That's why I do this. You know, I want to put on a show, and I'm not going to go out there and be a sissy about it. You know, I'm going to go out there and fight. So, yeah, I mean, I've been working on my boxing, so I hope that I look a little different. I guess I really don't know how to answer that. I'm me, man. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna smash you. That's what I do.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. And we now go ahead to Marcos Villegas. Marcos, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Hey, Clay, how's it going, man? Two questions for you. One is, what do you attribute most, you feel, to the success that you've had coming from MMA and now notching all these wins against, at first, you know, undefeated blue chip prospects and now pretty solid guys?
Man, I would just have to say my coach had a lot to do with that, and just, you know, I've matured. I was a wild kid, you know, in my early 20s. I was wild, so I've just matured and really, you know, calmed down, and just all I do is focus on my training now, and I listen to my coach. So
the second part is, you know, you're an MMA fighter, and you're having success in boxing. What do you think it says to the evolution of MMA fighters now, seeing that you are having success against guys that on paper are better than you technically, that would seem, but you're able to get them out of there?
Man, I'm a fighter. I wouldn't say that I'm a MMA fighter. You know, I started boxing way before I ever started mixed martial arts. So, I mean, I started boxing when I was 11 years old. So, you know, I hope that the sport of MMA is evolving. I still think their hands are far behind pure boxers. But that's just, it's just me getting back to my roots, man. You know, I was a boxer way before I ever started mixed martial arts. So I'm not really sure, man. I the game, having more MMA fighters cross over, but I don't know if they'll have the same success I had. So
we go next to Marquise Johns. Sorry, I muted Clay for a quick second there. Marquise, please go ahead when ready.
No problem, Evan. Thanks a lot. Hey, Clay, we've spoken before about you mentioning MMA and fighting in general, and I just wanted to ask you, with this training with boxing all year round this year, do you have plans going back to MMA sometime in January still, and how is the gym looking out?
So my gym's about done. We've kind of run into a few hiccups with this virus and stuff. So my gym's coming along great. I definitely plan on going back and fighting for the PFL. I gave my word that I would do that, and I'm a man of my word. So I plan on winning that $1 million, and then, you know, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll come back to boxing. I've been loving boxing. So
$1 million sounds nice, Clay. And Jeremy Harridges, you're up, so please go ahead when ready.
Hi, Clay. Kind of looking at your record, I think it's deceptive. You know, at the stats have you as a 28% knockout puncher, yet 3 out of your last 4 fights you've registered a knockout. Do you think it's now that your maturity as a boxer is allowing you to get these knockouts? How do you account for the numbers that you're piling up right now?
I definitely think that, you know, all the boxing I've been doing has helped. I think a lot of guys have a really great knockout percentage because they're fighting chumps. It's easy to knock out chumps. So that's one thing this guy I'm fighting, man. He's got like 9 knockouts or something like that, but he's fighting 50-50 records, man. So yeah, I think they need to step up in competition, man, and there might not be as many knockouts. But I really feel like I've starting to find my rhythm and my timing. And, you know, my coach has been working on my power since day one. So
how specifically have you been working on your power, and how have you been improving it? What are some of the things you've been doing?
At first, man, it was a lot of like strength training. My coach called me skinny fat when I first you know, started working with him. But yeah, just a lot of strength training, and then learning how to sit down on my punches and take the right angles to land a clean shot, man. Just, yeah, working on our boxing, man.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. And now we go to Xavier Porter. Please go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Evan. Appreciate you. You're controlling the matrix right now.
I tried.
Right now. Mr. Cassius, question for you. Will you be, if you know, Saturday, if you're successful with your fight, will you further your career with boxing as well as PFL? Like, and also, can you explain the difference between the MMA piece as well as the boxing? Everything that goes into it.
What was the last part of that question? You kind of broke up.
Okay, can you explain the training that goes into boxing and from boxing to MMA? And if you're successful on Saturday with the win, will you go forward with your boxing career?
Yeah, so I definitely want to keep dabbling in both, man. It's I think it sets me apart from other fighters. As far as the training goes, you know, I'm a striker, so I'm gonna try to box regardless. When it comes to training mixed martial arts, I'm doing a lot of takedown defense and a lot of you know, getting back up off the ground so I can get where I'm comfortable, and that's punching people in the face. So
next we go to Gail. I'm going to butcher your last name, Gail, but Gail, go ahead.
You don't even need to go there. Thank you very much, Clay. What do you think it is about you that has captured the imagination of the fans during this crazy year? And what do you think Top Rank sees in you as a fan-friendly product? How is that all coming together, do you think?
I think a lot of it has to do with my story. I kind of have that Rocky story, you know, the guy that's not supposed to win that shows up and does it anyway. And then, you know, I think I captured the fans because I'm exciting. I don't fight necessarily safe, I guess. You know, I'm going in there for the kill nonstop. So I think they just like to see that, you know.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. And now we go to Miguel Maravilla again. So Miguel, please unmute and ask your question. Miguel.
Hey, Clay, how's it going? First of all, you mentioned how you're much mature now from the first time you fought this guy. You know, you've had much more experience since then, and the confidence is obviously high. Do you feel that's going to be the difference in this fight?
Yeah, I think the difference in this fight is the level of opponents that I've been fighting compared to the level of opponents he's been fighting. You know, I've been in there with, David Kaminsky was a monster. You know, I fought the captain of the USC Olympic team. I fought You know, the Olympic gold medalist. Like I've just been fighting way better competition than him, and I think that's going to be the difference. And yet, and I'm more mature, especially when it comes to boxing. I've learned so much, especially in all those matches with those, you know, high level guys. I've just learned so much, and I just keep learning and growing, and so I think that's going to be what sets it apart.
Thank you very much, Miguel. Clay's got a few more minutes, and we got to let him run. Again, we're to use the raise hand button on Zoom or send me a private message. We now go ahead. Just a couple more questions for Clay until Jose Vargas gets here. So we now go ahead to Victor Rodriguez. Victor, please unmute and go ahead.
Thank you. Clay, you are the vivid example of capitalizing opportunities in very difficult times. You're like the example of human resiliency, how it feels to be in this position. And how would you describe, in one word, your 2020?
In one word, you know, it's just hard work, man. I've been working hard nonstop for years at this, man, and it's just finally starting to pay off, you know. No matter how tough the times get, man, you just got to keep pushing forward, and that's what I've done, you know. I've just haven't stopped working. If I could do my 2020 in one word, I'd say surprising.
What I mean, and just to follow up on that, we have host Sway coming in a couple minutes. I mean, what's been the most surprising part? I mean, obviously nobody could have foreseen the pandemic and everything that went to it. But is it the fact that, you know, you had the one fight and then you beat a top ranked prospect and then they invite you back? Was that surprising? Or, you know, after you beat Kaminsky, how quickly did you get a sense that, okay, they're going to bring me back?
It was like right after Kaminsky, you know, I got out of the ring and they're like, we want you back. So, you know, I think I surprised myself in what I'm capable of and what I can do. And that's why I say it's surprising. It's surprising to me, you know, especially with all the exposure and the fans and the people getting behind me. It's all just like, whoa, all this is real, you know? So, yeah, it's just surprising, man. I surprised myself, and I'm surprised by all the love from the fans, and Top Rank surprised me, man. Did I ever even think I would be fighting on Top Rank? No, not in a million years. I was an MMA fighter, but the way things played out, man, this is where I'm at, and I'm loving every minute of it. So,
and we do have another question from Marcos Villegas, who, again, I think is going to follow up about the story that was in Ring today, and I know it's something he's spoken about himself. Marcos, please go ahead.
Yeah, Clay, you know, I know it's been said, you know, there's a possibility of you being Prospect of the Year, and the other possibility, which I really do feel it's a realistic possibility of you becoming Fighter of the Year, given your upset wins, given the wins that you had. You know, what would that mean to you to be Fighter of the Year? And do you feel that you are the leading candidate to be Fighter of the Year?
I mean, I don't think anybody's doing what I'm doing this year or has done what I've been doing this year. I'm just happy to even be in the thought, you know. I'm happy that people are even giving me that credit. So there's a lot of great boxers out there that are winning belts and you know, doing a lot of great things. I think I've done a lot myself. So, you know, I think it's up to the people and up to the fans. So.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Marcos. We have another question here. The questions keep coming for Cassius Clay. Cynthia Kante, another question. Please go ahead.
Cassius Clay, you just mentioned that you didn't believe that you would even fight on Top Rank. But now, can you believe that you're fighting on not just a Top Rank card, but you're fighting on a Loma versus Lopez card? This is the card that every boxing fan has been longing for, and you're fighting on the undercard. Talk about what that means to you.
Man, it's great, honestly. I've watched Lomachenko since I was like kid, you know. I remember looking him up on YouTube being like, this guy's crazy. So just the fact that I'm even, you know, on the same stage as him, it means the world to me. Yeah, it's just so great, man. I'm just so happy about it. I just hope that everything works out and we can get this done.
And a follow-up, gotta ask, what's your prediction for that fight, Lomachenko or Lopez?
I'm taking Lomachenko. I don't know when or how, but Lomachenko's taking the win.
That's luck to you.
Thank you, Cynthia. We've got, again, a couple more minutes with Clay. So if there's any final questions before we get to Josue and Edgar, please go ahead. And then I'll just wait one more second. All right, looks like Xavier Porter's got one more question. So Xavier, I've unmuted. Please go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Cassius Clay, can you let us know your thoughts of your name?
My name?
The nickname, right, Xavier?
Yeah, my nickname. It used to be Blackout, man. They used to call me Clay Blackout Caller because my first fight, I knocked a kid out in like 12 seconds. And I had that for a little while until I got with this promotion and the promoter just didn't like it. And I was like, there's only one other nickname that I'll take. And that's because my name is Clay, you know, Cassius Clay. And, you know, I want to be one of the greatest at this. You know, I believe I can be. And so I think it's fitting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Xavier. Clay, we're going to let you run. I know you just took a very early morning flight from Idaho to get in here today. So before we let you go, any closing thoughts? As we announced, your fight's going to be on both ESPN Plus and regular ESPN. So just before you go, any final thoughts about the year in general, about the attention, about everything coming into this fight?
Nah, I just hope you enjoy it, man. I'm gonna go out there and do my thing, and you know, I hope the fans enjoy it. That's why I do this, is for you guys. And God bless America.
Well, that's a good way to sign off, Clay. That's a great way to sign off, Clay. Thank you very much for joining us today. And a reminder, rematch, Quincy Lavallais, of the June 2019 draw. You'll see Cassius Clay on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Thank you, Clay, and we will see you in the bubble, sir.
Thank you, guys.